Good morning. This is Mr. Wayne, for those of you that may have forgotten me. And we're going to have a lesson, and it's titled, Jesus is the Risen King. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, we're going to find out this morning. How is it that Jesus is the risen King? What is that all about? Well, our story begins with Jesus riding a donkey into the city of Jerusalem. His disciples are with him, and as he travels along the road, the people are lined up on each side of the road cheering for Jesus. They're so excited to see him. But the road is rough, and the donkey's having a difficult time traveling, which makes Jesus's travel, his journey, very uncomfortable, and it's rough for him too. So the people put their coats on the road, and some of them cut branches from the palm trees and lay them on the road. And this makes the walk for the donkey a little bit easier. So as you're traveling along, people are cheering and they're praising Jesus, and they're singing, Hosanna, Hosanna, which means save us, save us. So they're traveling along and people are excited and everyone is praising him, but not everyone likes Jesus. So one night, Jesus and his disciples go into a garden, and Jesus is praying to the Father. But he knows that something is going to happen there in the garden. So as he is praying, they hear noise being made by men. So Jesus and the disciples look to see where the noise is coming from. And in walks many men. They are not happy. Now, all of the disciples are with Jesus, all except one. And this one disciple's name is Judas. And the men who are bad men who have come to get Jesus, they have paid Judas to point out Jesus to them. So as they come upon Jesus and the disciples, they have worked out a plan, and Judas has told them that he will go to Jesus and kiss him, and that way they will know that that is Jesus. And that is exactly what Judas did. So they take Jesus, they arrest him, and they lead him away. And they take him to a leader whose name is Caiaphas. And Caiaphas is supposed to be able to determine what the punishment is for Jesus. So here these bad men are telling Caiaphas what Jesus has done. And most of what they're saying are nothing but lies. And Caiaphas says to Jesus, well, you hear what they're saying. What do you say about yourself? What do you say about what they're saying? And Jesus doesn't say anything. And they continue telling lies. They even say, Jesus claims that he is the Son of God. Well, Caiaphas, he's a little bit confused, perplexed, puzzled. What does he do with this man who calls himself Jesus and the Son of God? Well, he has a solution. He'll just send Jesus on to someone else. And this someone else is a man called Pilate. And Pilate is a powerful judge, a powerful leader. So Jesus comes to him and he says to Jesus, I am being told by these men that you have done many things. What do you say about what they are saying about you? And Jesus is silent. He doesn't say anything. Well, again, Pilate is beginning to wonder, what do I do? How do I solve this? Well, he decides to let the crowd make the decision for him. So he says to the crowd, what do I do with this man who calls himself Jesus? Now, this was a crowd who was against Jesus. They did not like him. So they take Jesus and they're going to dress him up. They put a robe around him and they put a crown on his head. But this is not an ordinary crown. It is a crown made of thorns. And they press the crown of thorns on his head, and he begins to bleed. And they begin to laugh at him. They have dressed him up like a king, and they laugh at him and make fun of him and mock him because they didn't believe that he was the king. So they take Jesus to a hill, and on that hill, they nail him to the cross. And Jesus dies on the cross. It is a sad, sad day. But Jesus went to the cross, and Jesus died on the cross to show us exactly how much he loves us. Now, after Jesus died, a rich man named Joseph goes to Pilate, and he asks for the body of Jesus so that he can bury Jesus. And Pilate says yes. So he takes Jesus' body and he wraps the body in linen, much like wrapping it in a blanket. And he's going to put Jesus' body into a tomb. Now, a tomb is like a cave, and Joseph, being a rich man, has had this tomb cut into the rock on the side of a hill. So he takes Jesus' body and he puts it into the tomb. And then they roll a stone, a large stone, in front of the opening of the tomb. And Pilate has a guard at the tomb, at the opening of the tomb, because he is afraid that followers of Jesus will come and steal the body and then claim he is alive again. Pilate didn't want that, so he's put this guard there. Well, Jesus is in the tomb, in the grave, 3 days. And after 3 days, 2 of his very loyal friends who loved him very much, 2 ladies, Mary and Mary Magdalene, they come to see about the body of Jesus. But when they get to the tomb, the large stone is rolled away. The large stone is no longer in front of the cave, in front of the tomb. And so they go up to the tomb. The tomb is empty. The body of Jesus is not there. They, Mary and Mary Magdalene, are a bit afraid. Now, Jesus' body is not there, but an angel is there. And he says to the ladies, "Fear not, don't be afraid. He is not here, for he has risen." Now, what did we say was the title of our story? Jesus is the risen King. Jesus has risen and defeated death and the grave. Now, this is what is called the Easter story. We celebrate Easter not so much because of Easter eggs and the Easter bunny, but because Jesus is a risen King. I hope you enjoy the story, and I pray that I will see you soon. Mr. Wayne loves you.